Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Woe Wisdom series where we chat with some interesting and amazing women. This is Woe Mentoring Works, by the way, our nonprofit, 501c3 nonprofit that focuses on the imperative need for more empowering events and mentorship programs for young women and also adult or seasoned women, as we like to call them over here at Woe Mentoring Works. So I am Dr. Kymrae 𝐼𝐴𝐬𝐿. I am the executive director for Woe Mentoring Works. And this is just a sort of a new kind of thing that we came up with here recently that we were interested in, kind of tapping into other communities and partnerships with other women and experts that are doing amazing things in their realm as it relates to our monthly discussions. So our goal is to create these monthly chats to have a conversation about different topics as they relate to provocative conversations or just tough conversations and things that aren't really being discussed, at the round table so much, right? So today, what we are doing is, this is Body Positivity Month with Woe Mentoring Works, September. So as we close out this month, as we have been pushing a lot of body positivity throughout the month to our followers, we are closing out this month with our expert guest and partner, Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson. And so Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson is a certified etiquette coach, and she can correct me, if I'm saying any of this wrong, but she is everything to us, right? She does a lot of great things with women and even young men too, right, Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson?
Absolutely. Hello, Dr. Hill. How are you?
I'm so excited. We have finally gotten this opportunity to work together. We have been having a lot of conversations over almost 2 years now, maybe before
Yes.
COVID. And so
Yes.
I'm just so glad that we're actually now having a conversation, if not, what we originally envisioned for us to do yet. We'll get there. But this is actually so exciting because we really have been waiting to chat with you, Miss Jackie Vernon-Thompson.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to be with you today.
Yes. So I want to get into, this is how I want to start this chat, right? I want this to be pretty, organic and flowing. So I don't want this to be so much of an interview. All right. I just want us to chat and talk about some different things. So I do have some talking points that I have made notes on, and I just want to try to make sure that we get through those. We have one good hour and we are doing good so far. But what I want to make sure is that I have shared this video to my followers on my page. And so I have just done that. So we are good to go. Okay. All right. So here's where I want to begin. I actually want to share with you all who are listening and tuning in right now. I want to share with you the personal experience that I have had with this. And then I would like to jump into Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson's background and her bio. But what I want to do is a reason I want to talk about my personal real quick, and we'll go in more into personal stuff as we go through this chat. But I want you to understand, everyone, why we have decided as a board to put this body positivity theme to our September month. So I remember, or I recall, learning about body positivity before I even knew what the name of it was, right? It was just very personal to me as a young lady. And we always hear body image, right? We talk about body image, but when we talk about body image, we talk about it in a negative light. And so I believe my philosophy, Dr. K's philosophy, one of them is that we have to look at life through a positive lens. We have to look at life through our strengths, not our weaknesses, our strengths, and build off of those, right? And so I like to look at things from a positive lens. And so that's why I would call this more of body positivity as opposed to body image, right? Because body positivity, it's it comes from within. It's the confidence in you. It's perceptual, it's attitudinal, it's behavioral, right? So we want to talk about body positivity and not so much body image, right? And so before we dive into that, I want to share a little bit about our expert guest speaker here, Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson. So I want to share with you a little bit about her. She is a certified etiquette consultant. She is the CEO of From the Inside Out School of Etiquette, right? And she also she teaches, she trains on multiple different types of sessions within this school of etiquette that she has, right? And so some of the courses that she has are greeting and communicating effectively, chivalry, sitting and walking gracefully, table etiquette and protocol, self-esteem, maintaining personal hygiene, my ladies, maintaining personal hygiene, business etiquette, and she does so much more within the context of those topics. She also certifies individuals who desire to be etiquette consultants as well. So she is out here in these streets. Let me tell you, she is not only in the United States, honey, she is in Bangladesh, Zambia, Uganda, Jamaica, the U.S. Virgin Islands too. Woo! St. Lucia, Trinidad, and Tobago. You have been all over, Mrs. Jackie. I'm telling you, you are something. Yes, and she not only does this on her own, she's been a partner and a vendor with the Broward County, Palm Beach County, and Miami-Dade public school systems. She works with churches, both domestically and internationally, as I just mentioned to you, but she also does something great. This is not just a for-profit thing for her. She gives back to the community as well. She has a nonprofit, a 501c3 that is called Youth Empowerment Village. And the ages that she works with are 10 to 17 years old. And she works with them on a summer and experience kind of thing, right? A 5-week kind of intensive course with public speaking, professionalism, entrepreneurship, and proper etiquette. So Mrs. Jackie, my gosh, woo, that was a lot because you just are amazing like that. So you just came back from Paris from a trip, right?
Yes.
And was this with your nonprofit that you were traveling with?
It was a combination of my nonprofit and the From the Inside Out School of Etiquette. It primarily was to just go to Paris with a group of phenomenal individuals and just nurture some of our youth in Paris. You know, it takes a village to rear a child, and we consider ourselves a part of the village, even though it was internationally done. And it was a phenomenal experience. Really great experience with the youth.
I saw so many pictures. They looked really like they had a great time. You look like you had a great time too.
Yes, I did.
Yes. So good. So good. So good. So wow, you know, this is why I wanted you to be on the show though, because I wanted you to you know, be able to bring some a different perspective to this conversation. And certainly you have, without a shadow of a doubt, the experience and the skill set to do that. So without giving us your intellectual property, right? Your curriculum, you know, that you work so hard to create. Share with us. I do want to hear a little bit, and I want to share with the people, you know, so that they know what, you know, if they need to call you to book you for a session or workshop or some sort. So as it relates to your coursework, right? What are some of the things that you do that cover specifically the topic of body image or body positivity, or how that aligns with your flow of coursework?
Absolutely. Body positivity, as you would name it, is a very important topic. When we teach body positivity, we put it in a way of honoring your body. We use that terminology, honoring your body, not necessarily body positivity, but it's actually the same thing. Yeah. And so we hone in on the fact that when you step out of your home, whatever you're wearing sends a message. And so you want to make sure that the message you're sending is consistent with who you really are. and it is consistent with who you would like to be. Because of course we know when we dress, when we present ourselves to the public, it's not just about the now, it's about the potential and where can I go with this? So I always encourage my students, don't think about just the now, think about your potential and where you can go in a job, a career, or wherever. And the same with when you go on an interview, you dress for that promotion. You don't necessarily dress and present yourself for just the position you're applying for. So body positivity is something that's very significant. Unfortunately, the majority of society just doesn't understand it until you really just spell it out for them.
Yeah,
you know, it's kind of a touchy situation when you talk to someone about honoring their body. This is what I recommend that you wear. This is what I recommend that you don't wear. This is how presentation affects others. So this is a great topic and I'm so excited to delve into it.
Yeah, yes. I like the way you look at it though. You know, there's so many different angles to look at it, and you can get really, it can be touchy, like you say, because people are very territorial, or it's personal when people pick and choose how they want to look every day, or you know, or not care. You know, they may even be to the point where they don't care how they look, you know, and that is, you know, a personal thing too to them. You know, there's a reason why they don't, you know, care about their image and how they look to the public. But like you say, you know, every day we're being judged, and you know, no matter how much we try to fight our biases, we're human and we have those biases, and we do judge you know, book by its cover, you know.
I get it quite often when I advise someone to, you know, look a certain way, because they have to rely, many times we have to rely on those on the outside to give us opportunities. You know, we have to rely on teachers to teach us. We have to rely on an owner of a company to give us a job, to give us an opportunity. So we do need to consider what people think. Many times people dress, as you said, like, I don't care what people think, they should accept me for the way I am. Well, you need people. You need people. So we do have to consider how we present ourselves and how we actually show up. That's the bottom line. How are you going to show up? You know.
So. I like it. You know, I remember a time when I was, you know, a little girl, I should say. I was dancing. I did a lot of I danced for 25 years of my life competitively, but I also modeled and acted, you know, as a kid actor, kid model. And I remember when I was going through the transition of my body was, you know, developing into the teenager young lady, right? And so from young girl to teenager, I was one of those girls that I developed quicker than my peers, and not in school, but in my extracurricular. So in my modeling and in my dance, but not in school. It was very odd. But when I was doing these extracurricular activities, such as dance specifically, I remember, you know, a lot of times my dance teachers, you know, they would say things like, you know, you've got to lose weight, or you've got to, you know, figure out how to, you know, those curves, right? Because I'm a curvy girl, you know, I am a woman of color, I'm a Black woman. So, you know, I'm going to be a little bit more curvy than someone else. And I was there before my peers. They were so petite and little. I was so tall. And I'm just, you know, a 5'2" woman. But who would have thought I wasn't going to be tall because I was taller than everyone else. But I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I was so conscious of my body, because I was told at such a young age that I was too curvy, too shapely. I remember even modeling I would be in my wardrobe that they gave me to shoot photos in, and multiple times they would send me back to the wardrobe stylist to change and switch into another outfit, because they said, oh, her body, she's too curvy. She's, you know, too this, to that. And I was just so conscious of my butt, my booty, you know, like my bootylicious booty when I'm too young to have this, these curves. I was so conscious that even today, I still kind of struggle with,
Mm,
what to wear, what types of skirts, how tight they can be when I go to work. I'm worried that someone's going to say that's too tight. Whereas today, it's so much, I was so thankful when Beyonce came out with Bootylicious, because when she came out with that song, I remember, because I was around for the skinny, starve yourself, don't eat anything, models and dancers were doing that, but
mm.
now, after her song came out, the whole culture of modeling and dancing changed. Everybody wants a curvy body now. People
Yes,
are buying them now. They're paying for it now. you know?
absolutely. They are paying for it.
So, I guess I wanted to say that, social media, social media impacts, I think, today what I was going through before social media, because that was something that was it was the media, but it was, within the professional realm of media, and so now I think these young kids, these young girls are really dealing with this, because it's right in their face. We're talking about on Facebook, on Instagram, TikTok. Now the kids were on TikTok. Now the adults have taken over TikTok, but the kids, oh my gosh, they have to have it really bad. I mean, social media is a fantasy type of land. It's a
Yeah,
fantasy
yeah.
land. You can make yourself be something that you're completely not, and you
Mhm.
can also create this facade that you've got this shape, or use these filters, and
Yes,
wash
yes.
yourself into looking like something else. And um it's so hard now for these young people to come up, because there's the bullying. And so, like, when we talk about all of this, and when we think about social media and things, and what you do, who you've touched, these young people, these young girls and young men, um how do you feel about social media, and what do you think that these young people could do to, save themselves from such, you know
Save
that's
themselves.
stressful.
Save
That's,
themselves.
yeah,
Save
yeah,
themselves is a
save
good
themselves.
statement. Yes. Unfortunately, social media has created this myth of an
Mhm.
image for our young people. And without lack of a better word, social media has pretty much lied to our young people.
Yes.
And social media is telling them that you're not good enough.
Mhm.
So I'm positioned in a place where I have to counteract that. In my classes, I have to teach them you are good enough. I have to encourage them to tell themselves, I love myself.
Yes.
Because social media and all of the messages that are sent, all the noise in public, in society, is saying you're not good enough. So you have to put this on to cover yourself. You have to wear this to cover yourself. You have to enhance this and enhance that. And so many of our young girls our girls are just not happy with who they are, because they believe they have to cover that in
Yes.
order to be someone of value.
Yes.
And so in my classes, I'm consistently encouraging them to love themselves
Yes.
and value themselves. Never mind what society tells you, or never mind what social media tells you, because what's on social media is what people want to place on social
That's
media.
right.
You're not really seeing the real deal. And it goes a little further, where there are constant commercials and videos on social media selling items to cover you, to
Yes.
suck in this and suck in that. It's just so interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Social media, which is such a strong engine, it's a powerful engine.
Mhm.
It has basically transformed this generation to say, I don't appreciate who I am. This
Yes.
is who I have to be in order to be appreciated, in order to be loved. And so we as adults, we as individuals who know better, have to counteract that and teach our young people to love themselves and evolve into the phenomenal individuals they are authentically.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. That's so true. So true. Our
Yes.
young people, they have such a hard time these days. I don't know. I don't have any kids, but I do want to have some one day. And I just worry. How? How? How do you do it today?
And as parents, you cannot protect them 100%. You know, as soon as you place that cell phone in your child's hands,
Yes.
you're giving up control.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you cannot control what they're doing 24 hours a day. So you're basically saying, here you go, here is the world, and I want you to be responsible, but you're still a minor and you're still not able to make certain decisions. But I'm going to give you the world
Yeah.
and everything that's in the world, and you make sure you make the right decisions. That's essentially what's happening when you give a minor or a really young child a cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It opens it up to everything. All even if you have the child, um law, what do you call it? The protection on the TV
Yeah.
and all of that, it still is that phone is the internet, the World Wide Web,
And
Yeah.
YouTube.
And YouTube.
You
YouTube
can
is,
find everything on YouTube and
oh my
Google.
gosh, yes. And that's all they watch. They don't even want to watch cable now. It's YouTube. That's it.
Mhm. So
Oh my God.
body positivity, as we revert to that, body positivity is something that really needs to be taught at home
Yeah.
by mom, dad, grandma, auntie. We really have to step back into that position where we are truly a part of the village it takes to rear a child. Now it's just like cliche saying it,
Right.
because the village is just all over the place.
That's
But we
right.
do need to step back into position for the survival of our children.
Yeah, yeah, we need to. That's the root. Where everything begins is at the house. And if you don't tell them first, then they're going to go to school and hear it from someone else and think that that's law. So yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. We have these affirmations that we say in Woe Mentoring Works, our daily affirmations.
Mhm.
And those are, to affirm, right, that we are wonderful people. We are beautiful, and
Mhm.
it's all in how we present ourselves to the world. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? But if you
Mhm.
don't have the confidence inside, you're not going to exude that confidence. And so that's the beauty that people see when beauty walks into the room. It's
Mhm.
that confidence that you have. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so
That's the
um
true beauty, the
uh-huh.
confidence. That's the
Yes.
it's not always about the external when
Yes,
it comes to like your face. It's not always about that.
that's
You
right.
can be anyone, but when you walk into a room, you have the energy, you have the positivity, you have that smile, you have the posture, and you have that aura where I command respect, I command attention,
Yes.
not because you're all that, but because
Mhm.
of the way you presented yourself.
Yes.
So that sort of beauty really has nothing to do primarily with the face, with the
Right.
features of the face. Is what are you coming in here with?
Yes.
you
Yes.
know so we don't want anyone to misunderstand the beauty we're referring to. It's not so
Right.
much about the facial expression, the facial features.
Absolutely. I'm glad you clarified that, because I certainly didn't want anyone to walk away thinking that that's what we were saying. No, absolutely. Very good. Very good. So, Mrs. Jackie, I want to transition now. I want to ask you, I'm in talent development in human resources, if you want to,
Mhm.
make it more simplified. So I understand that we are having a lot of trends in the hiring world. Things are changing as it relates to, hiring. And so, there's this Me Too movement, right? That where women are, becoming more they're able to speak more and be heard more, and you know, people actually believe what they're saying when they've been wronged, you know, by the opposite sex. And so, you know, has with knowing, you know, what the Me Too movement is, which we don't have to get into that because that will get us off of our topic. But I want to ask you, knowing what it is, how has that impacted body positivity, or do you think that in the future that this will hopefully impact? Because what I guess what I want to know is, do you think that we have gone forward, or have we gone backwards as it relates to our confidence and our positivity about our body? You know, because we just talked about social media, but we also talked about, just now I started to segue into the Me Too movement and how, you know, now we have a voice and, you know, we're strong again. But, you know, we're still having this seesaw battle with, you know, can we, do we have to be this plastic person that we see on the internet or TV, or, you know what I mean? So how do you feel that we are doing with that? Are we transitioning in a better direction? Do we need to work harder, you know, or where are we as it relates to today's current trends and for the future?
Well, of course, all of this is my perspective.
Yes, of course.
My perspective. It's a two-way street right now. In the last few years, we've had quite a bit of women advance themselves.
Yes.
Whether in entrepreneurship or just speaking up and allowing their voice to be heard. We've had that. And it's primarily in the Black and Brown communities. We are stepping out. We're like, hey, we're here, see us. That's a group of individuals. Yet we still have a group of women who are dominated by fear. Yes, and who are still listening to the lies of society. So they're trapped in there. They're trapped in that area where for some reason they just cannot make their way out. And one of the main reasons is fear of the unknown, fear of being judged. Well, let me explain this to our ladies out there who are afraid of being judged. It's reality. We're going to be judged. You cannot prevent that, no matter what you do. And if we're honest with ourselves, we will admit that we judge as well.
Yes, indeed.
So yeah, you're afraid of judgment and saying it's not fair, but it's not fair, but it's reality. So what you just have to do is come out and put your best foot forward. Your best is all that we ask for. Your best is all that you should ask for yourself, because you're definitely not perfect. Nobody is perfect. And so we have to keep that in mind. And ladies, regardless of the challenges you have in life, you have to press forward. You have to press forward with, and the interesting thing is, you don't have to press forward alone. There's so many resources, there's so many groups, there's so many associations that you can join absolutely free, just to get that support, just to get that you go girl type of thing. You know, there's so many resources out there for you to evolve into the person who you were meant to be. And unfortunately, so many of our adult women exist not knowing their purpose. And you know what, I can't relate, because God revealed my purpose at an early age. You know, I know that I'm walking in my purpose. God revealed that to me. So once a person finds their purpose, they're fulfilled. And so I encourage the women, our women, to step out, communicate with your creator, because he is the only one who knows why you're here. Okay, but step out, walk in your purpose, and dare yourself to do what you know you can do.
Ooh, okay. Yes, I like that. You know, and so Mrs. Jackie, that makes me think now. Okay, it's time.
Jackie.
It's what's that?
Jackie.
Jackie. You know, that makes me think though that I think I want to hear from you a little more now, on your tips, your top tips, because that you just got my mind going in that direction now. Now I'm going, I want to hear some tips from her. I want her to share with our people how you think. And of course, like you say, this is your perspective, and you know, but you have the experience. You have this, you're in this every day, right? So you know, what would be your, just a few tips, you know, a few tips on how to improve how your body image, your body positivity, how to exude that positivity to others. What would you say are some of the things that you know, you would, what do you think?
Yeah, body positivity is very much external, which, however, if internally you're not well, your
Yeah.
body positivity is not going to exist. That word positivity, okay, you're
Yes.
just going to exist. So here are just a few tips I'd like to give individuals who want to evolve, individuals who want to actually become who they were meant to be. Number one, forgive yourself for whatever you've done.
Wow.
That's
I
key
didn't
right.
hear that one coming.
Yeah, you got to forgive yourself for whatever you've done, because as I said earlier, nobody is perfect. We make mistakes, but you got to forgive yourself. Number two, you got to forgive whoever have hurt you in the past. We are, many of us, especially our Black and brown women, are walking victims. And many adult women are walking victims. They've got to let it go in order to move forward. So you got to forgive yourself, and you have to forgive those who hurt you. Whether if you were molested, whether if you your parents left you, whatever it is, you got to forgive them, or else you will not be free to be who God created you to be.
Wow.
Also, you want to begin to believe you're good enough. And you need not be like anyone else. Newsflash, you can't be like anyone else. You can't be anybody else. You're unique, they're already taken. So if you're busy being like someone else, what's happening to the authentic you? They're being wasted. So we gotta focus on being our best version, on being the better self. That's what we have to focus on. Then once you work on that, because that all has to do with self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-love, you got to set your goals. Now that I'm healthier emotionally and mentally, what are my goals? And then it's important, and I know people have heard this over and over, but it's absolutely true. You've got to write your goals. You can't have them just up here, because you'll be going around and around in circles mentally, kind of confused and overwhelmed if you have all your goals up here. You've got to write them and see that, hey, they're not that difficult. And then you've got to place them where you see them on a daily basis. That's a reminder. I mean, people say it all the time, and people take it like it's a grain of salt, but it's real. You got to write those goals. And then focus on refining yourself and learn the fundamentals of developing a healthy and a good character. And learn the importance of integrity.
Ooh, integrity. Big, big word. Yes.
Integrity takes you a long way. And it helps the trust aspect. It helps people to trust you. And so integrity is a big thing. And having a good character is a good thing. And you know what? The bonus for this? Push through and love yourself unconditionally.
Yeah, no matter what, you got to love yourself first. Yes.
Absolutely. So those are my tips right now. But
oh
I think
my
the
gosh.
top two
I'm
are
gonna have to
major.
call you after this, because I didn't take, those were some tips that I was thinking more surface level. I didn't know you were gonna go there. You went there.
Well, you know who you called, right?
Yes.
Listen to the name of my school, From the Inside Out. Okay, so
Yeah.
it's not just about the external. It's 80% internal.
Yes.
What kind of
Yes.
work are you doing internally? And then we can talk about what to wear and, how you dress and stuff like that. But if internally you're not convinced that you need to transform yourself into a better version of yourself, you won't change externally.
That's right. That is so right. That is so right. No matter how much, you're just spinning in circles. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Um, this does not flow at all, but I really want to share this because I thought about you before, because we're coming to a close here, because I think that I've given a lot through you to our followers at Woe Mentoring Works, a lot. But I want to just say this. I was watching Shark Tank. It's a show that I love to watch.
Oh, I love that show.
Oh yes, I love it when they invest in these entrepreneurs. So there was a young lady there, and she had a very interesting business. Her business was called Skinny Mirror. And what her mirrors do is they make you look skinnier. So
I saw that episode.
you did?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. When I saw it, I'm going, this is just like my talk, because the investors did not like her. The sharks did not like her business because they said it was not, it was lying to the women, right? This was about integrity now, right? You mentioned integrity, and these department stores were buying them though from her and basically putting them in the dressing rooms. So when we try on our clothes, we look really good in the clothes in the store. And then when we get home, we're looking in our mirror, our fat mirror.
Deceiving.
Deceiving. So it just made me think, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is literally the same thing in essence, what we're talking about, but on a different, note from the outside again. So she it's kind of like I kind of was on her side a little, and then on the other side, it was deceiving, but on her side, I was thinking about it from her angle, where it's like, if you feel good about yourself inside, then when you leave and, you go out to the public, you might feel more confident, and exude that confidence, that body positivity that we're talking about today. So it's like, I was torn on that particular business episode, because I was like, yeah, it's totally wrong. You're lying to us, and I hope these department stores are telling us that this is that mirror, so at least I know what I'm getting myself into. But but I also thought, wow, this might be just what we need, because we might need to have that extra boost of confidence to, once we get out the door, we're there and we're feeling good, even though we're not looking like we think we're looking, you know what I mean?
Isn't that kind of a deceptive thing? It's like, I look good now in this mirror, but when I go home and I look in my mirror, which is a realistic mirror, it's really not what I saw. That's a setup for disaster. That's a setup for plummeting self-esteem. That's a setup for disappointment.
Yes.
I think that the product needed to be something to allow a person to be more of their authentic self.
Yes.
Because it's a setup for disaster emotionally.
I think I agree with you there at the end of the day, that is because we're looking at long term, right? We want long term guidance and assistance and development. We don't want a quick fix. And that, I think, would be, like you say, you want to do it from the inside out, not from the outside in. So.
Yeah, that's the component most folks are missing, working on the inside, the interior, the internal, because no matter what you want to do, if internally you're not convinced that this is what needs to be done, you can do it probably a week, a few days, but it's not going to last.
Yes.
So that internal aspect, that internal component is so very important when you want to advance in life.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. I love it, Miss Jackie. Listen, so I want to ask you before we go. Well, first I want to there's a couple things I want everybody to hear so that they don't sign off just yet if they are interested. So first I would like for you to share what other did I cover the other courses that you focus on? And if not, I would like for you to share what other types of courses you offer to the public so that they might know, and if they might need to book you for their next event or workshop or thing. And then after that, I would like to close out and just ask everyone in the last 5 or 7 minutes if they have any questions for you on the chat. I will be checking them. And so if you have any questions now, what we'll do is we'll have you, start typing those in now. That way, when we get to that last few minutes before we reach that 7:30 point, I want us to stay on track, right? So yeah, so let's get that going, ladies, if you have any questions for Miss Jackie. And in the meantime, let's have you share a little bit more about your platform before we go.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. As you alluded to, we do teach table etiquette and protocol. And by the way, every one of our classes are taught virtually or in person. We're definitely safely teaching in person. Our topics are honoring your body, table etiquette and protocol, greeting and communicating effectively, maintaining personal hygiene, which is what I primarily teach children, the hygiene part, because it's a kind of a sensitive subject. Sitting and walking gracefully, chivalry, as you mentioned, embracing celibacy. I teach that too. Embracing celibacy, increasing.
And you teach that would be to like, what's that's your younger target, or what's your demographic on that?
Mainly high school students, college students. I'm not going to tell these adults what they already know they should not be doing, but but the young people. And of course, that is a topic that is not often selected with the public school system.
Yeah, I can believe it. I can believe it.
Yeah. So we kind of don't even touch that in the public school system. But of course, our churches, our private organizations, yes, definitely. Public speaking, we definitely teach public speaking, which is so exciting when I see individuals evolve right in front of me by the second class. Business etiquette, restaurant staff etiquette, tea party etiquette. As you mentioned, I certify individuals worldwide who aspire to be etiquette consultants. Matter of fact, I'm in a 5-week session now with a new group, and we start a new group every month and a half. And so it's been extraordinary to have all of these phenomenal ladies become etiquette consultants. And we're just in the business of spreading the word of etiquette, of proper protocols, civility, all of that good stuff to help heal society, because there's so much hurt, there's so much offense. And if you ask me, the general definition of etiquette is conducting yourself in a way that doesn't offend others. So we've got to spread the word and teach folks how to conduct themselves so that they will not offend their neighbors. So we teach a plethora of topics, and we even teach the things children should know before age 10. We teach children how to write in cursive.
What?
Quote unquote, our schools don't do that anymore. We've taken on that. We teach children how to write checks. We teach children how to properly fold clothes, towels, shirts, and a bunch of things that children really should know, that you and I probably knew before we were 10 back in the not so long days. Okay.
In the sauce now. No one knows nothing now.
So we teach that, and it's just been a phenomenal path, a phenomenal journey for the last 9 years. On social media, we're everywhere. It's just been a great experience doing this. As I said, I'm walking in my purpose, so I'm completely fulfilled.
Yes, yes. I love it. I love it. This has been truly, truly wonderful. We have a question. We have a question from Miss Aloma Henry. We have a question. In working with girls who are coming of age, how do you recommend reinforcing the message of body positivity with all the outside influences previously discussed?
Well, very simple. Stress the importance of this young lady starting to actually say her affirmations every morning before she goes to school. Every morning, she's looking at that list of affirmations. I am beautiful. I am phenomenal. I am smart.
Yes.
I love myself. I am worthy of love. I am worthy of excellence. Affirmations allow her to hear herself tell herself this. So
Yes.
she's convincing herself that this is me. I am smart. I am all of this. And with that, she will begin to believe it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when it becomes a habit, she will make it. I'm telling you, it works. I had to do that when I was in high school. I had to do that in high school because I grew up at a time when society said dark skin was ugly. So I had to literally convince myself that I was beautiful, all on my own. My mom didn't know I was doing it. No one knew. But every morning before I went to school, I remember I was in high school at Board Anderson. Every morning before school, BA. Yeah, it's not the BA it used to be anymore, though. But every morning before school, I would mention those affirmations. I would tell myself those affirmations. And eventually I began to believe them.
Yeah.
And it changed me completely. So without doing anything else, allowing your child, your daughter, and sometimes even our guys, because so many of our guys are broken and society's not paying attention to it. But in this instance, we're talking about girls. Those affirmations are transformative.
Yes, they are. That is why we start our meetings, our events. We even have magnets that we sell, as a part of our donation list to our followers, our daily affirmations. We are big on affirmations. They really do change your outlook on life and who you are. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Jackie, we have some more questions, a couple more questions come through. Let's see. Loma also wants to circle back to what she just asked you. And she says, in addition to your classes, are there any other online resources that you recommend?
Well, we can always go on YouTube and find videos about increasing self-esteem. What I do to maintain my myself, maintain my positive attitude, maintain the energy that I have. I consistently listen to individuals like Les Brown. It changed me. Les Brown, Jim Rohn, a bunch of different individuals on YouTube who have taught me to continue forward in a positive way, to be my best self, to be my authentic self, and to focus on so many different topics, finances and energy and responsibility and all of that. So YouTube is pretty much a really good tool. However, feel free to contact me at any time so we can schedule a virtual or in-person class with your child or even the two of you, because sometimes our children needs growth, but our adults need growth as well, along with the children. And it's not for offense, it's just to be able to move forward with your child, because at every age, a child is at a different level. So many times our parents are not growing with the child. And so sometimes the child feels alone in this space. So I do mother-daughter classes all the time, daddy-daughter classes all the time. Okay. So, I'm available for that. But YouTube is the resources. And of course, once you Google anything you want, it pops up.
Great. That is excellent. 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 All right. So we have a couple more questions. This is good. So I keep getting a lot of compliments. They're saying this has been a great discussion. They're really enjoying your tips and your information. I have another question now. They say, what would you say to a young girl who conducts themselves well and uses proper etiquette, but have to deal with being bullied from others who do not conduct themselves in the same manner?
And yes, that's a very good question. And that can adversely affect the young lady who is trying to be the best version of herself. What
Yep.
I would recommend, and sometimes it's not really easy for the parents to convince the child, that child needs a new surrounding. They need different people in their circle.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yes. Some
just like
supportive circle.
exactly
Mhm.
whatever circle she's in,
Mhm.
or whatever whoever she allows to impact her, poof, they need to be gone.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's just like that. And
If they're not
unfortunately,
inspiring you, you need to let them go. You
no,
need.
if they're breaking you,
Mhm.
they need not be in your personal circle. You know,
Mm,
they say the five closest people to you will influence you the most.
that's right.
So those who she has speaking in her ear in a negative way and it's impacting her, they need not to be so close to her.
Yes, yes. That's
So,
great. That's great
and
info. Mhm.
it's absolutely true. And you know, the thing that I find from working with young people for so many years,
Mhm.
many times they don't listen to their parents when their parents are telling
No.
them these wise things. Uh, the advice the parents are telling them there. When I'm sitting in a class with a student and I'm pretty much echoing the parents without
That's
even
right.
knowing this is what they're saying. The children are saying, that's what my mom told me. That's what my mom told me. They didn't listen, but they will listen to a third voice.
Yes.
So
Yes.
some parents bring their child to me just so I can echo what they're saying in a
That's
structured
right.
manner, of course. But what I'm saying is essentially what their parents are primarily saying. And I'm like, if your mom tell you that, it's true. Because I'm telling you the same thing and I don't even know your mom.
Yeah.
So, you know, that helps them to be transformed. Sometimes they do not listen to the parents. And I'm wondering, were we like that?
So, I don't know. I think we're human, and that's the human thing to do, is to just assume that your parents are, yeah, it's just my parents, but
Yeah,
you
they're
want to hear
supposed
it.
to say that
Yeah, you want to hear it from the streets.
on the
Yeah.
streets.
So
Yeah,
look,
that's
so
true.
okay, we have one final question we're going to take because we're closing out here. So I have one more question from a middle school teacher. Okay.
Mm.
And she says, what advice would you give middle school girls who have low self-esteem and are relying on guys for attention?
Mm. And we have
That's a
so
big
much
one.
of that. We have so much of that. Middle school girls who are in the school,
Mhm.
I highly recommend that the school creates some kind of club or society to increase the self-esteem of our girls.
Yeah.
In that position, the girls need a community, and it could be a small community in the school
Yeah.
that focuses on self-enhancement, self-love, self-worth. Because when the school bell rings and these children disperse, we don't know where they're going. We
Mhm.
don't know if they're going to a mom who cusses them out. I'm going to say cuss them out. I'm not going to say curse. I'm going to say cuss them out every opportunity they get. Because sometimes a mom will be driving a child off and get your A out of the car.
Yeah.
Stop. So we don't know if the children are going to that.
Yeah.
And so in the school, if you have the power to create a club of self-development, oh my gosh, that would be incredible.
Yes.
So as someone who works in the middle school, I highly recommend that you suggest that someone in the school or a group of teachers or an individual who's in charge of that area create a club and allow these young ladies to freely come into the club and have a community and have a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
That's what they're yearning, a sense of belonging and people who love them. So they're looking to these boys.
Yeah.
And in this club, you need to have someone or a group of people to say, you're beautiful. You're
Mm.
gorgeous.
Mhm.
So that when these little guys tell
Mhm.
them you're beautiful and they want something and something is attached, they're not fazed by it, because many times and oftentimes they're not getting it from home.
Right.
So you have the ability to create an environment where they're getting that at school,
Yes.
then why not?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
not all about academics in school.
that's
Our
right.
children are suffering emotionally.
Yeah. And and it's not happening at home enough. So we have to have it in school. And so, like when you said that they won't allow you to talk a lot about the uh celibacy.
The embracing celibacy.
Yeah. It's like there's the elephant in the room, again. And it's like those are things that we do need to be talking about. But it's that fine line of then politics and all that stuff get involved.
So,
So
I mean, I know our time is about to go, but I just want to ask you a question.
yeah.
In in relation to what the individual from the school asked, as adult women, we're always looking for a community, right?
Yeah.
We're always looking for that sisterhood,
Yes.
that group of positivity. So why would it be differently for our girls?
That's right. That's right.
They need it.
It's simple. Yes. Yes.
The equation.
Drops mic.
Yeah. So let's create that environment. That individual, I challenge you, you beautiful soul, to head back to school tomorrow and propose that to the appropriate personnel and
Yeah.
get that moving. Because clearly it's needed, but create that club.
Yes, yes. This has been phenomenal. This is wonderful. We really got a lot in. I really enjoyed this conversation. I think we did perfect. We started at 6:30 and we are finishing right on time. This is
Yes.
jam-packed, perfect. Awesome. I can't wait, Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson, to work with from the inside out School of Etiquette. I cannot wait till we actually do a partnership, right? And I bring you in
Absolutely.
to Woe Mentoring Works and we do something together with our young girls.
Absolutely.
So
I
looking
love it.
forward to it. Yeah. So we'll be talking for sure. And I thank you again so much. And if you're looking to follow Mrs. Jackie Vernon-Thompson, you can follow her from give them your handle.
Absolutely. My website, www.fromtheinsideout.soe.com. Remember that SOE is the acronym for School of Etiquette. Find us on Twitter, Instagram, at From the Inside Out, SOE, YouTube, From the Inside Out, School of Etiquette, Facebook, From the Inside Out, School of Etiquette. We are everywhere. Google us. Wherever you type From the Inside Out or Etiquette, we're there. Thank you so much.
Yes, we thank you again. And we also want to thank really quickly our viewers who tuned in today. I am so appreciative on behalf of Woe Mentoring Works Incorporated and also our board, executive board. We are so thankful for you and your support. And we will be in touch with all of you as well as we continue on this journey into Woe Womanhood. Thank you for tuning in. Everyone have a great evening.
Thank you so much for having us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We're good.
Okay. I was like, I'm not going to leave because I know she